Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Two Broke Girls. It's your girl Manda.
Hey, it's Jay, and I hope everyone had a great week. Good morning, good evening, good night to whoever and whenever you're listening to this. Today, we're just going to be hitting on the topic of romanticizing life and why we find that important within ourselves. And, so romanticizing life to me, it's more of, finding gratitude and maintaining yourself, if that makes sense. Doing things that work for you, kind of like having a plan, I guess. um for me, the way I romanticize life is I've been more appreciative of like what I've been offered and what I've been doing. I've been I prayed for all of this to be happening. And so, of course, every day I need to wake up giving thanks to God, of course. And I am learning not to be too hard on myself when it comes to like school or like social things or things that I feel I need to get done. I try not to be as hard on myself, and I try to just find the joy in like the journey, like within that whatever said path is. And so I really realized that in myself, and I'm at peace with that. If I'm being honest, I feel more at peace with my what I want to do, where I'm at now, and me setting myself up for those certain goals, or you know being happier, I guess. It makes me feel a little bit better about life, and I feel definitely more optimistic about it. And I feel that's because I let it go and I let it be in God's hands. And so I'm good where I'm at right now, and I know there's like a lot more to happen, and I'm excited for the process. What about you?
Romanticizing my life is mainly about me being at peace with myself. It's more about, I say, since my life is very chaotic or it deals with a lot of things that I have to memorize or work on or spend a lot of time with, it just takes a lot out of my day. So romanticizing my life is mainly about my peace, like my serenity of everything. And so that deals with like me just doing nothing or laying in the bed and just not doing nothing for hours, even though it's kind of hard for me to do because it's always something for me to do. Or I could clean the weekends. I like to think the weekends are for me to like reset and clean. And cleaning is another way for me to clear my mind. I feel like once I get going, it's like I can't stop until everything is clean. You can say I'm a clean freak, not really in a sense, but it's a way for me to do what I want to do in that moment. It takes a while for me to clean, and it's just a way for me to be myself. No judgment, no nothing going on. And I'm just free in that moment, whether I have like music in the background or something's going on the TV, or I literally just stop and just start dancing out of nowhere. Cleaning gives me peace. I guess that's one of the ways I can romanticize my life and just put it out there. Honestly.
um so we all know that life throws everything at us, and I feel like it's our jobs to you I feel like you have to have good balance in time management when it comes to that type of stuff. You can't let one thing literally just tear you down. And so I feel like as well, I feel like romanticizing life includes adjusting, adjusting to the new changes, embracing the change that you may be going through, and finding the light even if it's super dark. And I feel like romanticizing is just like an outlook on life. You're being more positive, you're being more grateful, and you're showing up for yourself mentally when it comes to that, and physically as well. You should be doing things that help you to become better, do better, and make you actually happy. But mentally, that's where it all starts. How do you embrace changing and changes?
Changes, I don't really like to change. I really hate change. But for me to embrace the change, I feel like, as you said before, it's a mental thing. You have to, in this life, everything is going to be changing every single day. It's not going to be one thing that's going to stay the same, other than the way, I guess, the way that you go about your life. Like if it's a job, you go to your job every day. That's something that will probably stay the same. But change is indefinite. Like it doesn't, there's always going to be change all around. For me personally, I I embrace it. There's always going to be change, especially in nursing school. Things are always changing for me. New people, new styles, new content. Like it's always going to change, and I'm always adding on to things when it comes to my life. And so I just like to take it as what it is. I know that God's got me. I know I'm going to be here, and it's not going to go anywhere. All I could do is just move forward and know how to maneuver myself around that change, or put my life in that, I guess you could, no, just maneuvering my way around that change. Still doing what I have to do, but implementing that change as well. How would you embrace change? Like what would be your thought process, or what do you do to embrace changes in your life?
Basically, like I said earlier, just learn to be adaptable. Everything will not go my way every day. And I can't control things that happen to me. I just can control how I react to them. So, if it's something good and worth having to change, then of course it'll be easier. But dealing with like something dramatic to have to go through, um, I guess I would just have to keep the mindset that this is life, and I'm basically kind of in control. Outside of God, I am in control of my life, and I'm in control of how I go about things. So that's basically really all that could be done. Just with everything we do, we have to adapt to it, whether we like it or not. And so just finding, like I say, gratitude. And for me, I had a lot that changed, and I just look to the future. I know I want to be, and that's kind of how I keep going and keep pushing for what I want. I also think that within change, you have to be present in the moments. You have to allow yourself to go through. I guess it's like kind of steps. So you got the new change, whatever that may be. You're going to allow yourself to go through it. And then you're going to allow yourself to be present within that cycle, I guess. And then you figure out a way to move on or keep going. So I think it's definitely okay to sit, sit in your thing. Like sit in it for a little bit, and then you can't be there forever. So it'll be time to move on. And I just being present in the moments, allowing yourself to take in everything that's even coming at you. I think that's a good way. That's a step to romanticizing life.
I feel like being vulnerable is another way as well. It takes a lot to be vulnerable, especially for me. I would say being vulnerable is not something that you could do every single day, or you can even try to do every single day. You have to be able to let down your guard. Everyone is going to have their guard up. Everyone is going to want to be strong all the time and not trying to show any kind of weakness, which is fine. But there's also times where you have to be vulnerable when it comes to your life, especially the people around you. You have to be mindful of some things that you say to people, or some things that you do. And even when romanticizing your life, just being able to communicate effectively, and knowing that all you can do is just all that you can do. Finding that peace within yourself, trusting God, just like Gianna said, putting everything in God's hands and not trying to hold everything, because you're just one person. Like you can't do it all and at all. And trust me, I would know. I tried to, and it just don't work. It don't work out for me. So the best way for me, I know, is to just put everything in God's hands. Be vulnerable within yourself, or be able to be vulnerable with other people around you, especially people that are close to you, that you know that love you and care for you. And let them know, hey, this is the time I need to romanticize my life. This is the time I want to be by myself and just worry about my peace and my serenity, knowing all that you have going on. It's good to be able to communicate effectively. You know, my little tidbit.
Yeah, I think the people you definitely carry around yourself is important when it comes to you trying to make sure you have that inner peace. Because people can weigh a lot on you, and things that they do could really affect you depending on how you are emotionally and how you do take in things. So you definitely want to find groups and have your family, or you don't have to be around your family 24/7. You just need to, I mean, not 24/7, but like, you can't choose your family, but you can pick and choose who you're around. You can choose your friends, so you have every right to cut people off or let people join in. So, know the people who are good for you and who's not good for you. And it is your choice to be around those people. But the best advice is to be around people who bring out everything that's good within you, continue to encourage you, and they hold you accountable. True friends hold you accountable, and they don't want to see you fall short by any means necessary. So definitely be around people who actually add to your life instead of take away and make it draining, because there's no way you're going to be able to find peace within life if you're always around people who are draining you and they make every day harder. That just don't make no sense to even be around them at that point.
What are some lessons that you have learned so far when it comes to your life, or romanticizing your life? Anything, basically.
The biggest lesson is that I can't control. I have no control outside of what happens to me, which I've said multiple times already in this podcast. I can't control what happens to me. I can only control how I react to it. I can only control who I'm around. I can control the habits I may pick up, stuff like that. But that's the biggest thing I've learned, and I think I'm really living within that motto, I guess, this year. I can't worry about everything. Me stressing myself out will not get me anywhere, but more stressed out, and then I'm not able to perform as well as I need to perform with school, with work, with social things, talking to people. Like, it'll come out eventually. What about you?
I feel like the biggest lesson I have learned is to be myself no matter what. I know I have a lot to work on. I know I have things that are out of my control, out of my scope, literally. And I just have to trust God. My main thing this whole since January, or I could say since August, is to trust God, literally. Because I try to do everything by myself. I try to handle my emotions by myself, handle schoolwork, my job, not having a job, like my home life, personal life, everything. I try to handle it all by myself, and I know I need people around me. Or I need to have my closest person around me, or the closest people around me, to help me and to give me that guidance that I need. Let me know, hey, you're still good. Keep going. You can't just, let go of yourself. You have to keep pushing, especially since now it's November. It's like school is coming close to an end, so I have to keep pushing. And just having those people around you is great, especially when it comes to romanticizing life and, trusting God. I know I have my days where I worship. I just be by myself and I literally just listen to just gospel songs alone, or I listen to sermons, or I have my Bible app that I use. And it's really helped me to, okay, Amanda, I know you got a lot of stuff going on. I know you got homework, you got this, you got to study, things going on, have to record for this podcast, but you still have to keep pushing. You still have to keep going. And that's just another way for me to say, hey, it's gonna get done, just not all today, literally.
Um, Definitely with, you know, giving time to God is big. No matter how busy you are, He deserves some of your time. He is most, if you believe what I believe, you know that He's the reason why a lot happens in our lives. And you believe that He is in control of our lives. And we're just here, supposed to be here to give His word and um, encourage others to believe in Him and do right through this life. So definitely giving time to Him is definitely a big thing. No matter how booked up you may be, how much running around you have to do. You always have 5 minutes to pray and to give thanks at least. What are some ways that you could do to help you see life a little better, or things that you do now to do that?
Honestly, it would have to be. I gotta think on that one. I really do. But I was literally about to say sleep, y'all. I really was. Sleeping is a way. One of the things I do. Because I feel like most of the times I don't really get enough sleep during the week. Because I go to my bed around like 12, 1 o'clock in the morning. Because I'm up doing homework or studying. And sleep, if I could take a little nap here and there, oh baby, I am. Ain't no doubt about it. But another way I do, another one of my things, or an actual thing that I do, is I don't know.
I would say for me overall, planning, planning my future, planning my week, planning my days, that helps me to look forward. I'm not everything I plan I look forward to, but it helps me to like have a schedule. I feel like romanticizing is having a set routine that makes you feel good within. And so I know school is boring most of the time. And, you know, it's kind of stressful, but me planning out that stuff helps me to, you know, look forward to when I'm done with it and stuff like that. I would say also, I always think about how I could be better and what I can do to be better. I feel like that's a good way for you to improve yourself mentally, physically, spiritually. We're not perfect. There is always something to do for us, and there will always be things that we have to do to get better. I'm pretty sure no one wants to sit in, well, most people don't want to sit in the same story all of their lives and the same routine that's not encouraging enough for them to move on and do better for themselves. So definitely, I'm always trying to figure out how I can do better, what I am not doing for myself, for others, and just finding ways I can perform better within school and outside of school. A big thing would also be for me to be intentional about everything that I do. I don't want to just be out here doing stuff just because. I always think about stuff before I do it. I like to figure out, like, plan it out a little bit before I do stuff, figure out, like, what's the real purpose. I know my life is full of purpose, and I want everything that I do to be within that purpose of mine. And I just don't want to be out here just doing whatever just to do it, or just to get popular, or just to be seen. Like, that's not even the type of attention that I want. Next, I would say to not be so hard on myself. I could be really hard on myself. I am my biggest critic. And like I said, I am learning it now to just let go of things and, you know, find other ways to get to where I want to get. So, like, being hard on myself will not get me anywhere. It just adds rain to the dark cloud already over my head. So, that's definitely something big I'm working on. I'm not saying it's fully like I've improved a lot with that. I have. But it is sometimes where I catch myself, and I catch myself getting mad at myself, and then I have to tell myself, hey, calm down. Like, it's always another way around it. It's always another way around it. Also, lastly for me, that Amanda could finish, would be always giving myself something to look forward to. Like, for right now, like, I have certain goals that I'm looking forward to that I pray happens. But, like, my biggest thing that I look forward to is my future. Like I said before, I use my future as a way of motivation. I know my future may not be how I dreamed it exactly, because God still has my life in his hands. But I know the idea of my future. And in that, I see a lot that I see a very successful person who's happy, who has family around, who has friends around, and who's doing everything that they said they would do. That's my true goal, is to do everything I said I would do and set up for myself. And so that is definitely something big for me. That's definitely a way I keep moving forward. Of course, there's little things, you know, closer goals that I have to reach, that I want to reach, that help me look forward to things. But that's pretty much it for me. Did you think about it enough?
For me, I like to write little notes around my room. Like, I have some, like, on my door, the reason why I wake up every day and do what I have to do.
So affirmations.
Honestly, basically. And I feel like those help me get throughout my day. Waking up and reading that on the back of my door, it just be like, okay, my end goal is to finish nursing school, is to get that degree, is to do what I have to do. That's just one way I like to just go throughout my life. Like, it's not really much I like to do. And
I just want everyone who's listening to this to just know that you're not the only one. I'm pretty sure, even though you may be the one going through it, like, you're different from everyone else, but you may not be the only one going through that same exact situation. And to always just be aware of how you are approaching that situation or whatever may be happening. I think the approach and your approach speaks a lot about you, and that will either tear you down or build you up. And so that's definitely a big part in romanticizing life, which I think is really the main part. It's just your approach at life. You have to be more positive. You have to trust in God, trust in his word. You have to find people that you can trust in, find people that are going to reflect you a little bit, I guess. If that makes sense. I hope that makes sense. But yeah, definitely just keep your head up. Life is going to life every day, all day. Keep your head up, keep your shoulders back, and keep moving forward. That's literally all we can do. And so, find things that make you happy. Figure out your hobbies. Hang out with people who bring peace to you. Get a dog, something. Like, there's something within life that's going to help you to see it better. And I pray that nothing traumatic has to happen to any of you to realize that, because you can find happiness where you are right now, and you're not alone whatsoever.
I can attest to that. I hope you guys have a great rest of your day, week, night, and we will see y'all in the next episode. Toodles.